Hello, welcome to the video covering Step 2, Part 1 of the final project, Exploring Cases. My name is Dr. Lydia Jirogi. I want to walk you through the second set of steps for your final project. There are 7 steps for this video. 1. Instructions. 2. Front matter. 3. Cover page. 4. Part 1 instructions. 5. Company information page. 6. Case information. 7. Answers. A quick comment before we get into this video. You can skip to specific content using the table of contents listed in the description. This function may only be available if you watch the video in YouTube. You do not have to watch from start to finish unless you want to. The instructions contain important details about completing this project. We will read these together, then move on. 204. Final project instructions. Formatting. This page has instructions for the final project. Delete this page and all instructions before submission. If this page or any instructions are left for the current or previous parts that are due, there will be a 5-point penalty to the final grade. Instructions are easily located within this document as they are all within brackets. Turning in sloppy work will severely hurt your grade. Google Docs will eat your formatting. Each submission with Google Docs formatting will receive a 10-point penalty to the final project grade, i.e. don't use Google Docs. Grading. Each part is due by 5 p.m. on Friday of the assigned week. Each time late or incomplete work is submitted will result in a 5-point penalty to the final grade. Roughly 80% is considered complete. General feedback will be provided via Blackboard over the weekend. Each part is a checkpoint, which means there is no grade associated with the first 3 parts. Only the final submission will be graded. Plagiarized work for any part of the project will result in a grade of 0. The premise? Your team is working to demonstrate your knowledge of fundamental marketing constructs and tools. Over the semester, you will display your critical thinking skills, ability to communicate clearly, knowledge of marketing terminology, appreciation for marketing metrics, professional goals, ability to organize, and attention to detail. Your goal is to produce a document you could use in an interview to show mastery over the principles of marketing. The front matter includes the cover page for the final project, the executive summary, and the table of contents. On the cover page, we need to edit the team name, student names, pictures, section number, semester and year, team name with page number, and course ID with a footer. After we finish that, it looks like we should complete the executive summary next. In fact, the executive summary is not due until we submit part 4 at the end. Because it is a summary, we cannot complete it until we're done. Still, we want to leave it where it is on the cover page. The table of contents has 3 items for us to adjust with part 1: the company name, the page numbers, and the instructions. You need to update as you work. When Part 1 is submitted, all of the numbers should reflect the updated numbers for Part 1. When you submit Part 2, the page numbers for Parts 1 and 2 should be updated, and so on and so forth. The cover page for Part 1 is just that, a cover page. No questions or answers should be on this page. Steps for this page include deleting information in brackets, inserting an image, and removing instructions after reading them. After removing the instructions, you will need to enter several spacing lines to fix your formatting before moving on. Let's review the instructions for Part 1 together. Instructions for Part 1. You have 2 objectives for Part 1. First, learn about the company and the case. Second, address the problems identified in the case. You will be completing 2 cases. This will likely be the most challenging part of the project. Work on it often before the due date. Additionally, cases are challenging because of the amount of reading and critical thinking they require. They also take time because there are multiple ways to work towards a correct answer. Making your own path may be uncomfortable, but there is no clear-cut way to success in business. Other general guidelines. Do not bold answers longer than 5 words. Do not bold question and answers, one or the other, but not both. Do not split text or content across pages, as this is severely penalized. And check your formatting. Make sure your headers are at the top of the page. Make sure section cover pages have image and text in the same place across each of the cover pages, and thoroughly check that all instructions were deleted. The company information page should be fairly straightforward to complete. After selecting one of the cases, you will complete this page about that company. Answer each of the 5 questions. Each answer should be bolded. The C-suite table trips people up in 3 ways. First, people don't remove the instructions. Second, students forget to hide the borders. And third, students leave answers in the first column blank because they can't find what they're looking for. This problem is fixed by emailing me early when you run into this problem. We will discuss what you've done and how to move forward based on your company. The last section is the company history. This section should introduce the company and key historical events that made them what they are today. Additional attention should be given to historical events that are related to the case questions. The case information page needs to have the name of the company listed at the top. Next, you need to summarize what you read. What were the key ideas and concepts? You should discuss this with your teammates and make sure you didn't miss anything. This is followed by typing up the questions. The citation section is where you list your APA citations. In most cases, this would be pages long. For us, this should have at least one additional source beyond the textbook per question. The last step to complete this page is to remove the list of cases you can select from. The answers are challenging because there's little structure. This is what makes a case valuable. You have to decide what is important, what to include or exclude, and how to convey this in a convincing manner. Formatting, structure, grammar, etc. all are part of the process. Mistakes like block text are severely penalized. To help provide a little more direction, I'm going to walk you through the initial drafting process with our example case, Chick-fil-A. In regular cases, students will spend an entire semester working on a single case. You read what you're given and then told, fix the problem. That's all the more direction you get. We're just starting on casework, so a little more structure is called for. First, after reading the title, read the questions. This lets you know what terms and concepts you need to be on the lookout for when reading. Once you've done this, then read the case. The link in this slide is to a read-through of the Chick-fil-A example case. Feel free to pause this video and go to listen to this case and read along. We are now going to read and deconstruct the first question in this case. Give examples of needs, wants, and demands of Chick-fil-A customers, differentiating these three concepts. I'll pause the video here to see if you can correctly identify the core components of this question. You should have come up with 4 components: examples, needs, wants, and demands, Chick-fil-A customers, and differentiation. When you start creating an outline for your answers, you should start with these 4 components to structure your answers. Start with defining the key constructs, needs, wants, and demands. Next, differentiate these terms. This not only answers part of the question, but it makes sure you understand these terms well enough to provide examples. Third, provide examples. And lastly, show how these examples are distinct to Chick-fil-A customers. You could compare them to McDonald's customers or any other company discussed in this case. That's up to you. Breaking down each question like this helps you avoid block text because you have a structure to follow. It also helps ensure you have answered all parts of the question. I hope this video has helped you better understand the process of completing a case. As always, if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to ask.